POC Network here with another unboxing, this time coming from SwitchBot, a company that's known for some smart home innovations and devices that allow you to hook certain things together, such as light bulbs and indoor cameras and curtain motors, and I'm reading from the back right here actually, but also you might know them for their actual SwitchBot switch, which is, or really just their bot, and it's a little bot that you can put onto almost any switch and it can automate that switch because it just pushes that switch on up and down, or just really just presses buttons and other things. Really, the company has a number of interesting devices as part of their ecosystem, and this is one of their latest. And this is their one for your front door, or back door, side door, garage door, whatever the case may be. This will automate any existing, almost virtually any existing deadbolt, allowing it to connect to the SwitchBot smart home ecosystem so that it can be controlled, or it can control or interact with other devices on your network. So by working with your existing deadbolt, it supports a certain style or a number of certain styles of deadbolt. So it won't work with everything. Some of the more unique ones it may not work with, but it is known for working with your typical double cylinder lock. That's going to be one of your most common deadbolts used in a home. Also works with the Jimmy-proof lock as well as the Mortise style lock. So as an example here, this is going to be just the back lever of a deadbolt that you typically find. This is going to be off of a dual cylinder deadbolt, and it's just your typical deadbolt lever on the inside of your door that you lock your door with and unlock your door with. And this robot's going to grab this and do it for you. What's interesting about this one is that there's no tools needed. That's something that the company's been bragging about. You don't need any tools. It literally sticks to your door using 3M double-sided tape or sticky pads. So you just kind of find, there's an adjustment thing we'll go over in just a moment here to determine the height of where it needs to be, where it raises off the door to make sure it can grab onto that deadbolt properly, or at least the lever for it. And then you just slap it on the door over it once you've chosen the adapter that fits over it properly. And you get up to 180 days worth of use with an average of about 10 uses a day on when it comes to battery life. And it takes 2 batteries, and we'll go over that in a moment as well. What makes this lock more interesting is that it comes with a number of accessories, because by itself, it's just a lock that hides on the inside of your door, so on the outside of your door, you're not seeing anything. It doesn't offer some of the features that you see in some of the keypad entry locks models out there right off the bat. I mean, just by itself. So that's why it comes with a number of accessories as well. And of those accessories, one of the most important is the SwitchBot Hub Mini. And you might already have one of these. If you have other SwitchBot products, you don't have to worry about this, because this does sell by itself. But then it comes with kits as well. And this is one of those options. It's pretty important to have this if you want to actually make use of this, because it's going to give you all sorts of access to working with third-party digital assistants like Amazon Alexa, Google Assistant, Apple Siri, as well as third-party services like IFTTT, and other hubs like SmartThings and even Home Assistant. And through that, it gives you the ability to schedule times where your door's locked or unlocked, or you can share access to your door with other users, or you can check the status of your lock, or even get alerts when the door's open or closed, or other situations that you might want to be alerted for. The hub is required. So if you don't already have the hub, you will be picking up the hub with the lock. In addition to that, if just key entry and app entry isn't enough, because with this you'll be able to open it up with the app on your phone over the internet from anywhere in the world. So if somebody's at your door, someone's visiting to check on your dogs or your cats, you can just open it up from your phone. But if that's not enough and you need keypad entry, they do have keypad accessories. And this is the SwitchBot. Well, this one's actually the SwitchBot. This is the next one we'll talk about, but we'll just cover this right here. They come with something that looks somewhat like this called the SwitchBot Keypad. And it's just a wireless keypad that you're able to install anywhere you want, where you can open it up using a code. If that's not enough, then there's the Keypad Touch. And this has a added biometric sensor at the bottom that allows you to use your fingerprint to open the door. So now you can open it up from the app from anywhere in the world, or just standing in front of your door. You can open it up with your key because it's just a regular deadbolt, or at least what this is attaching to. So you can still use your normal lock's key, but you can open it up with a keypad and you can open it up with fingerprint. Of course, it doesn't stop there. The company also has additional accessories. They have a SwitchBot NFC tag that you can apply to your door, so you can just touch your phone to it and open the lock that way. They also have a SwitchBot remote, which is a key fob that allows you to open it via a key fob. So the company has definitely thought about as many unique scenarios as possible that allow you to open your door. And all of this can pretty much be bought as a kit for the most part. These three items definitely can be bought as a kit, as well as the normal keypad. And then some of those other accessories, I think those are mostly just you buy them if you want them, the NFC tag and the remote. In that, they come at different prices. The lock itself runs for $99 just by itself. If you get it in a kit with the hub, it's $129. If you get it in a kit with the lock, the hub, and just the regular keypad, it's $139. If you get it with this kit right here, which is the lock, the hub, and the touch keypad, it's $169. So you have different options, and at the same time, it's pretty much, for the most part, competitive. $169 for all of these features and extra accessories and everything that pretty much falls into place with some of the nicer locks that are out there on the market that offer familiar options. So really, it just comes down to how well it works, but we'll get to that later on once we actually do this story. So first, what we're gonna do is we're gonna open this up and we're gonna show you what it at least looks like and give you a little bit more of a visualization there on how this connects to your door. So upon opening it, you have a little envelope in here that has some documentation. You have 3 white stickers here. They're circular stickers. You have a wet wipe for your installation. You have a SwitchBot, make it simple. Looking for help, turn over this card to find out more information. It's just how to contact them and what to do if it doesn't fit your lock. SwitchBot Lock user manual, which is a fold out, and it looks relatively easy. It doesn't look like they really go too deep into complex scenarios. They keep it simple, and it shows you everything that it comes with. And in the front here, it looks like this box might have been designed for different scenarios, because it looks like something was supposed to be here, but it's not. It does say screwdriver is on the back. Oh, on the back of this. So you do have a Phillips head, little screwdriver, even though no tools are needed. You have the adapters here, and these are the adapters that you're gonna choose to find the best, tightest possible fit for whatever your deadbolt lever is. You also have a sensor, and it looks like we have NFC tags. So maybe not so much an optional accessory. You have 2 NFC tags right here, and you have a little bag of tiny, tiny, tiny little bolts. And then you have the lock and a third adapter here. You have 2 double stick tape pads here. One is going to be for the magnet sensor. Then this other double stick pad is going to be for here, which it actually already comes with one. So that means that this one is simply an extra one in case you need to readjust. Let's say your first attempt at installing this fails miserably, which it shouldn't. It should be pretty user friendly and straightforward, or you want to move it later on to a different door, whatever the reason may be, you have a second 3M double stick pad. But this is the unit itself. It's pretty simple, and again, it's just going to rest on your door. So once we've chosen, in this case, a adapter, which we'll go with that one, it will, just imagine this is this lever's on the back of your door. This will hook right over it, and you'll be able to manually control it via this. So you'll still have manual control over your deadbolt, as well as the automation that the device has to offer. And then the batteries can be accessed by taking this little top cover off, and you have these 2. They're the CR123A batteries, and we've seen these in a number of different automated door locks, including a neat Z-Wave one that we had covered recently. But what's nice about this one is it only takes 2. Some of those other ones took 4, which is kind of excessive. So with just 2 batteries, that's all it takes to get up to 180 days worth of unlocking, which is pretty good since you're not just blowing through batteries and wasting money. This is a little bit more efficient. Now, it's too bad they're not rechargeable packs. It would have been nice to see lithium, just kind of a rechargeable packs in here with like an extra spare one that you can have sitting by, and then you can just swap them back and forth instead of having to constantly buy new batteries. But it is what it is. And we don't really see a lot of that, unfortunately, anywhere within any of the manufacturers. So in case anybody's listening and wants to take that idea and run with it, or maybe the SwitchBot 2.0, a rechargeable solution is always useful. But for now, we got the two CR123A batteries, and the only other thing that we have to look at on this is this metal bracket here. This is where you choose the spacing between the door and the lock. So you take out these 4 screws, and this slides in and out, and that determines exactly how far away it sits off the door to make sure it compensates for the deadbolt latch on the back. Because this doesn't sit flush to the door. It's usually going to have some kind of a round collar to it that sticks out a little bit. So that just allows you to dial that in just right. Once you have dialed that in, then you screw it back in at the length that you need, take the double stick tape off, and push this against the door over the lock, and you're done. The installation is incredibly simple compared to some of the other options out there. So it's nice to see that, and it's nice to see a product that's versatile when it comes to connectivity in terms of some of your other hubs. And speaking of hubs, we'll take a look at the SwitchBot Mini. Now the SwitchBot Mini is a tiny little hub, which is we're starting to see become a little bit more common. Some of the wireless cameras sometimes will come with these tiny little hubs. SmartThings in itself is kind of small, but not this small. This is much smaller than SmartThings even. This is more equivalent to Habitat, if you've ever seen the Habitat hub. It's just really tiny. And with the hub, you get a little fold-out manual, as well as a USB, looks like a micro USB, micro USB cable. And this is what you're gonna run to a wall plug. And then this can either sit flat, you can mount it on the wall, or you can use this included double stick tape to just stick it to the wall or any surface. Really, you can just put this out of sight somewhere that's relatively close by to the door lock or any of your other devices in the house that are part of the SwitchBot ecosystem, so that they can see the hub clearly and make sure that the hub has access to Wi-Fi in your home, because you're pretty much, the lock connects to the hub connects to your network, and then the hub talks to all of your SwitchBot devices. And then we have this nifty keypad, and it's pretty small in size. It's not going to take up too much space on the wall. It's much smaller than your typical garage door opener keypad. On the back, you have a battery compartment that just pops out, and you have, it looks like, 2 more CR123 batteries, or 123A batteries, that go into this. You have 2 little metal contacts here, which I'm going to guess it's just going to be a lock mechanism for sliding it into a faceplate of some sort. But the front here, you have your buttons, so you can actually set up your key code entry and give that key away to someone cleaning the home or a family that's coming over to visit. And then of course you have your biometric sensor right there at the bottom for using your fingerprint to open the door with, which is always a fun feature to have because it's so much quicker. And let's take a look at some of these accessories. You have a little key tool here. So it looks like this is just something that allows you to disconnect it off the thing, and it kind of locks into place, which is nice. You have double stick tape here. So if you want to use double stick tape for attaching it to the wall, you have what looks like maybe just a drilling. This is a drilling guide to determine where you should drill your points. You have a wet wipe. You have a We're Here to Help and how to access them online. You have your manual that just folds out that shows you how to connect it to the wall. And then this is going to be the device that, or at least your mount that you're going to screw into the wall. And then this is just going to lock into place. And then that's going to be where the key comes in. So if you need to take it back off the wall, you just push that in, pops back down, and comes right off the wall. And then you also have a key card, which is pretty nifty. Looking at it here, you do have an icon here that looks like it's NFC, so you have an NFC key card, so you can just tap the card to the door to open it up as well. So I just mentioned all those key points of entry earlier in terms of ways you can unlock the door. This just adds one more option to that list of the many ways you can open up your door. And I'm gonna guess that in this box, batteries. And sure enough, looks like we have 2 little rubber spacers with double-sided tape on them, and then you have 2 screws and 2 anchors, as well as 2 batteries and a pry tool, which is going to be used for popping out that back battery compartment here, which has a really nice tight fit because it has a little rubberized seal around it to keep the weather out. So again, 2 batteries. You don't have to buy any batteries yet based on anything we've seen, so that's looking good. And some of the other accessories that require battery are likely going to come with batteries as well. So that's it. So you have your lock, you have your keypad with biometric entry, or you can just buy the regular keypad by itself, and you have the hub, which connects everything together. Again, you can also open the door. You got some NFC tags here, and you have the ability to go out and buy a key fob as well if you want to open it up with a little key fob, and that would be the SwitchBot remote. So $99 to $169 is what this is going to cost you. And of course, we're going to have a full review on this later on at POCnetwork.net once we've really had time to play around with this. But for now, we can already see that the installation is pretty easy. It doesn't really require much. So there's not really much else to discuss outside of how well it works. And that's where the review comes into play. And we'll have that again at POCnetwork.net once we've had time to really play with this. And we're going to have a link for that in the description, as well as links on where you can find all of this as well. So all of that will be available in the description. And if you liked what you've seen here, don't forget to subscribe, hit that subscription button and follow us, and also like the video. And use the comment section below as well to share any thoughts that you might have about this, how this compares to any lock that you've used or have, or just have read about, or any questions that you might have or discussions you might have for each other. Definitely make use of that comment section down below. But as always, we thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next time. If you want to stay on top of all the latest and greatest, and or at least the gadgets we cover, remember to subscribe right here. Subscription button. Click it. You're going to want to. There's lots of videos, interviews, previews, all sorts of stuff. Button. Click it.